Hello, joyful ones. Welcome to the Eat on Purpose Challenge. You are in the right place to make conscious, healthy, informed food choices without feeling too rigid or that your diet's really strict or that you have to follow anybody else's rules. So welcome to the challenge. This is day 0. It's Friday, March 9th, and the challenge officially starts next week on Monday, March 12th. So today is a practice run and a warm-up, and today I'm going to go over the 3 main obstacles to healthy eating and how mindfulness can help us make better choices. So, hi Melanie, I see you showing up. It's awesome. We want to, on this challenge, also recognize that everyone's busy. Totally respect your time. I'll try to be efficient and recognize that we're trying to make these mindful eating choices in real life, right? All of us have responsibilities that we work on every week, and we want to be able to stay with our healthy choices for the long term, not just next week. So, I do have a couple notes, so if you see me looking down, I just want to make sure I cover everything today. When you find this video, sometimes I can see your name pop up, but sometimes when there's more people on it, I can't tell everyone who's here. I just see a little number. So when you find the video, it's awesome if you could say hi. And even if you're watching it later, I always look back later today or the next day all week and see who's there. Hi. And also you can leave a comment and make a question anytime. One of the reasons that we're doing this as a live challenge, it definitely doesn't make me look better to be live. I look much better if I'm really practiced and doing it with more formality. So it's not for my benefit, it's really so that we can adapt the challenge as we go. And I want you to tell me what your challenges are and what your goals are so we can hopefully make the challenge work for you and make it help. So feel free to say hello. Hi, Kathy. Welcome. So anytime, also just again, feel free to ask questions. And those of you who are here right now know me, but hopefully this will get seen later by other people. I'm Joan Craig, the founder of Choose Joyful Health and 5-Star Eating. And in 5-Star Eating, we combine mindfulness, it's one of the pieces we're working on this week, science, and core values to make eating choices that we feel good about, that we can do for the long term. When I'm not talking about food and working on food, I'm a yoga therapist and yoga teacher. And one of my specialties is helping people listen in to their inner wisdom, use that to take practical action steps that get results. So we combine science and mindfulness to get results. All right, so let's get right into it. Today we're going to talk about the 3 main obstacles. These are based on my own life and also what I see with my students, and these are some of the things that people are talking about in the Choose Joyful Health Facebook group. And if you're not already in that group, go ahead and join. You can find it by typing in Choose Joyful Health in all capital letters. And in that group, we're discussing some of the things related to the challenge. The number 1 obstacle to eating healthy, as voted by the people in the group, and I experienced this myself, is being tired of cooking. Right? How often do we want to make a good choice and we would eat the healthy food if a chef was making it or someone else was cooking? But if it's up to us, we're tired of cooking, or we're tired in general, we're tired of meal planning, running out of ideas, and maybe just feeling busy, right? And not having time to do that. And I think that's a really, really real, relevant challenge that most of us face at some point. Sometimes we go through ebbs and flows where we feel more creative with cooking and more motivated, and sometimes we just don't feel like it. I know for me, when I watch period pieces of the 1800s and royalty in Europe, I always wish I had a butler, a cook, and a lady's maid. It would make my life much better. But I think most of us in the Eat on Purpose Challenge don't have a lady's maid or a cook. We are the lady's maid and the cook, right? So we've got to find a way. So I really relate to that challenge. One thing that's helped me is to batch cook, one day a week. If I can get a head start, that goes a long, long way. So we'll talk about other strategies in the challenge too. Hello, Babette. I'm glad you're there. I see you popped in. So let me know, maybe give me a thumbs up or comment if you also feel tired of cooking, at least some of the time. Yeah, I think it's pretty common. So we'll move on, and obstacle number 2, and of course here they come. Here come the thumbs up. Yes, we're tired of cooking. Bah! Obstacle 2, and I've kind of grouped these together, is stress. And this is universal. I mean, I'm a yoga teacher. Melanie's a yoga teacher. Melanie owns a yoga studio. Supposedly, this is supposed to be, we are supposed to be the ones modeling healthy relationship to our activities, to our commitments. But I had to drive to Woodruff Road last night. We have very real stresses in our lives. Sometimes these are short-term stresses. Maybe someone in your family is not well, maybe you have a job change, something like that. Sometimes they're just long-term, annoying, ongoing stresses. Hi, Chris. And sometimes those annoying stresses that don't seem so big are actually the ones that turn into big stresses because they're there all the time. We would call it like a chronic, like if you had a little small tiny pebble under your foot, it's not a big rock, but it's little and it's there every time you take a step. So some of those could be, not sleeping enough. That's a very real stress, right? And when we have that stress, we usually, myself, want to eat more sugar and have more caffeine, right? We don't always go for the healthy foods when we're not rested. We could have stress with emotions, negative emotions. Those could be fear, they could be pain, which is not just an emotion, but a physical reality. And when we eat, we know our body releases dopamine, feel-good chemicals. So sometimes we are numbing our stress or numbing our emotions with eating. So sometimes with stress, we eat when we're hungry but don't choose the correct foods for our bodies. And sometimes when we're stressed, we eat even though we're not hungry. Right? So there's all kind of different versions of how stress impacts our food choices. So the good news is that mindfulness helps because we can start to notice what the triggers are, notice what the stress is, maybe find a deeper root of it, and see if we can find a different diversion, a different way to divert the energy from the stress to a positive. So we're definitely going to work on some of those strategies in the challenge, and those are good whether our issue is emotional stress eating or just stress in general. So give me a thumbs up or a comment if you feel like stress eating or stress is impacting your ability to make mindful food choices. Here they come. And the cool thing also I think about Facebook Live that I love, thank you for joining, even the people who watch this later, is when you see other people commenting, I see the comments and the thumbs up coming through, we can feel like we're not alone in a struggle. And also, I think with health and fitness in general, we hold ourselves to such high standards. I mean, those of you who know me know I can be almost ridiculous with the expectations I put on myself. And we can hear from other people that they feel a similar way and realize we're not lazy. We're not bad if we aren't perfect. So that's something we're going to work on next week as well, is acceptance and forgiveness of ourselves for not being perfect. And that's a big deal. Yeah, Babette, losing your job. Yeah, that's like one of the major stresses. I'm sorry you're going through that. I didn't know that. And I'm guessing that you might be home closer to the food all day, whereas when we're working, we usually don't have time to eat as much, right? So finding a way to manage the stress of losing your job besides eating will be a great way for you to focus during the challenge. All right, let's take a deep breath. So we've talked about 2 main obstacles. Of course, there's many more. So first one is feeling tired of cooking, right? Burned out, that expression burned out. And second one is stress, which is, that could be a whole huge thing on its own. The third one that is a big obstacle kind of has 2 sides. I call it social and relationships. So a lot of folks that I am friends with, and myself included, do fairly well, like Monday through Wednesday, especially if we cook on Sunday. And then like Thursday, maybe start socializing a little bit more. Now, if you're not working a traditional job, or you're retired or just self-employed and you work different schedule, you know wherever your weekend is or wherever your socializing time is. This is a big challenge, and for many people, drinking is a big part of this. And we know that drinking alcohol has a lot of challenges, not just the ones of our physical health and dehydration and what it does to the bacteria in the gut, all of those things, but also it blurs our, I see some thumbs up coming in. I think we're relating to socializing and the drinking challenges. It blurs our mindfulness, really. You know, if our mindfulness takes place when we are present to our body, fully conscious, right? Almost on that higher level of consciousness above the busyness of daily thoughts. You know, drinking is going to impact our ability to do that. So that's a real challenge. I think we have to plan ahead for how much we're going to drink and when. So that's kind of one part of the social and relationship aspect of obstacle, we call, or a big rock. I kind of look at these obstacles as kind of boulders, and we're on our hike, on our walk towards healthy eating and healthy choices in general, and then there's a big boulder. So we can climb over it or we can go around it, right? So hopefully we're going to go around it. It's a little easier. The other obstacle that people in the group have commented on, and I relate to this as well, is sometimes the people around us don't want to eat as healthy as we do, right? So maybe you're trying to do some new things, trying some new foods, whether that's eating out or at home, and not everyone around you is supportive of that. There are people who are blatantly unsupportive, right? These are people who are food pushers, the kind of people who say, no, don't worry about that. Eat this, have a piece of cake with me, or, that kind of thing. There's people who may feel threatened when you are changing, right? So as you are growing in consciousness and mindfulness with your eating habits, and you maybe make the next step up, people feel like, oh, I might get left behind in this relationship. that happens with drinking a lot too, right? If one person in the friendship or relationship stops drinking and the other one doesn't, it's interesting. Now, there's obviously great, strong relationships that can handle that even if one person is not choosing the same things. So we're going to address that some in the challenge as well. And I welcome now, you could do it now or anytime in the next week, to comment if you've experienced this. Also, I think parents, a lot of times moms have a challenge with they want to eat certain foods, but the kids don't, right? So that's a whole nother ball game. So comment, let me know if you feel like social/relationships is an obstacle for you with making the choices you really want to make. And also, if you have some successes you can share with the group of how you have gone around that obstacle or overcome it. Hi, Susie. Wow, Kathy, your bridesmaid is here. That's cool. Both of your bridesmaids are here. That's fun, right? So let me know if you're feeling any of those 3 obstacles. Feel free to make a comment if there's something that you related to or that you have a success story with. And there's some other obstacles I think that are very real, such as not really knowing what to eat. That's an obstacle, right? Not feeling confident is kind of confusing these days between the people who are saying paleo, primal, eat lots of this, and ketosis, and then some people are like, no, eat raw, vegan. It can be a little confusing. And then the other obstacles I hear a lot is people say they don't feel like they are strong enough, like they don't feel like they have enough willpower or motivation. So we can talk about how to strengthen motivation and what it really is as well. Anyway, bottom line is you're not alone, you're not lazy, and what we all want is to feel good, look good, and have energy to do what's important to us, right? Whether it's our career or our family or hobbies. So the good news is that mindfulness works on all of those main obstacles. And there's a lot of research, which we've posted some on the Facebook group and on my website. But the bottom line is it comes down to inner cues versus outer cues. And the inner cues come in 2 categories. This will be a thread we use all week, and I'll review this every day. We have micro awareness. That's like really feeling our bodies, feeling our breath, feeling our posture, tasting our food, savoring food, taking a bite of something delicious with your eyes closed. Those kind of things, micro awareness, the small things, really feeling present. And then we have macro awareness, or what I call macro mindfulness. So one is to go down to the small, and the other is to climb up to the bird's eye view. So for me, when I meditate, or even while in daily activities, I know there's a part of me, I do it up here because it's kind of like super conscious, it's above my daily consciousness level, that's aware of myself, my inner self, as a witness or observer, right? Or a spirit, right? Whatever your spiritual belief or spiritual life is, I think we all have a sense of presence on the inside. And that is macro awareness, macro mindfulness. That's the powerful place to make choices. Now, at first, when we start using mindfulness, it can feel like really hard to switch from the outer cue to the inner cue, because the outer voices, the external cues, the stress, the social, the obstacles feel so loud, and we don't always hear our inner voice. But that's exactly what we're going to learn to do in the challenge. So I just realized this turned into like a whole day of the challenge, because I wasn't planning to talk for 20 minutes. But I think it was important to set the stage by addressing our very real concerns and saying they're valid. Sometimes I think we try to talk ourselves out of what we feel, right? And say, oh, I shouldn't feel that way. I have such a great life. I shouldn't complain about not wanting to cook. It's a really valid problem. So we're going to work on it this week. Okay, Chris is sharing husband, and we know and love Dudley, so we're not judging him for his choices. We love him. He's wonderful. But he has gone more paleo, so Chris is doing it too, but adult beverages are still an issue. Yes, the adult beverages, and I can't read your whole comment. I'll definitely read it when I log off. Yeah, the paleo movement, I think it's good for some people, and it does help rule out a lot of processed food and sugar. So that's a good thing. It's not right for everybody, but it definitely is a good thing for getting off the processed food. And it looks like you're getting off dairy and gluten, so that's working for you. Good. Okay, thank you. Well, I'm going to just wrap this up real quick. Tell you what's coming up next week. I'm super excited. Some of you live far away, so we love you, we miss you, and we're going to see you in the challenge. Some of you live near us in Greer, in Greenville, South Carolina, so we want to invite you. Melanie was here on the challenge too. We want to invite you to Mellow Yoga in downtown Greer there she is, on Sunday, March 11 at 3:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. We're going to have a mindful eating kickoff. So we'll do a little bit of what we did today, and then a little bit more yoga, because it's a yoga studio. So we're going to do some mindfulness meditation, pranayama breathing to center our minds, and some visualization of ourselves and success. So we're really looking forward to seeing some of you in person. I hope you can be there. And we thank Melanie for being a partner in this program and welcoming us to her great space. Those of you that are not local, we wish you could come. But anyway, all week I'm going to be here Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. And I will send an email to the people who've signed up on the website. You'll get an email with the daily agenda. And we're going to cover the things we talked about today, how to get over these obstacles. We're going to do it in real life, practical ways that you can start using right away. If you like this video and you've signed up or you haven't signed up, please share the video. It's not too late. Anybody can join anytime, and it would be a great help to me if you could share it with your friends and tell them about it. I promised you we would do a mindfulness tip. I didn't promise you, I promised you in my head, that you can start using right away for the weekend. So put a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart. Now, if you're in public or at a table, you can just do the hand on the belly, because no one even has to know you're doing it. And this is the Eat on Purpose mudra and mantra. So you're going to take 3 breaths. Especially feel your belly breath. Start tuning into your body. So the 3 breaths is the start. The mudra is the hand on the belly, hand on the heart if you can. And the mantra is, I give my body what it needs. I give my body what it needs. My recommendation is that you take 3 breaths before you eat, and you say the mantra out loud if you're by yourself, quietly, silently if you need to. And then do it. Give your body what it needs. Also, I recommend doing this immediately, the very first thing when you wake up. I promise, if you do this when you very first wake up every day and you visualize yourself making good choices, eventually it kicks in. You can do it. So thank you so much. Please share this video on your Facebook page. Please sign up on choosejoyfulhealth.com/eat on purpose if you haven't already. and make sure you're in the Choose Joyful Health group so we can work together. I'm excited. Thank you. And peace.